WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Cash Matlock. Lawmakers will soon start the 2021 legislative session, and teachers are putting in their requests early. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
A pay raise has been on Mississippi teachers' wish list for the last several years.
We cannot keep kicking this can down the road. Our educators are depending on us to do the right thing.
Lower pay than other states has translated to a teacher shortage. The Mississippi Association of Educators is also giving some perspective on what that's ultimately costing schools.
One thing that I've experienced as an elementary teacher is that class sizes would increase, especially when you don't have enough certified educators. You may see a doubling in class size. You may also start to lose some of your electives like art, music, and band.
Mississippi First published this study this month that dives into the shortage. It reveals pay is the main factor in fewer people going into the profession, both from in and out of state programs.
The number of teacher preparation completers from out of state, it used to be hundreds and hundreds a year that we could rely on, but that number has actually gone down about 96% in the last 10 years.
Keep in mind, all of these statistics are pre-COVID, and education policy groups agree it will likely have an impact since many teachers had to weigh health risk and returning to the classroom.
I think going forward, in a couple years from now, when we finally get the full picture of what's going on here, I think this is going to become an even more dire issue in the future.
Senate Education Vice Chair David Blunt says he's working with the Lieutenant Governor's office on a proposal that would not only boost teacher pay, but also give incentives for new teachers.
If you're a new teacher, you're right out of college, you probably have student loans. We're going to have a program in place for you over a period of years that we will pay down part of that loan for you if you enter the profession and stay in the profession, which I think will make it more attractive.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Senator Blount says part of making teacher pay raises and incentives work within the budget will be dependent on how much federal relief is sent to the state in the second round of stimulus.
Mostly clear and cool on our Friday evening. We are down into the low 30s. Columbus 32, Starkville 34, a little bit warmer in Tupelo at 36. And Oxford at 39. We have some higher clouds back to the northwest. There will be some rain developing in Texas and Louisiana later tonight and tomorrow. That will be coming our way by the afternoon. But tonight we are clear or mostly clear to partly cloudy, chilly, upper 20s, low 30s for lows. Now we've got a good looking pup here, our forecasters. Power Dog, getting ready for a power weekend. Maybe some holiday shopping the last weekend before Christmas. We're just entering that 30s in the morning, and then by the afternoon we're looking at some low 50s, but the clouds will be on the increase here, folks, and that will give rise to some of those rain showers here probably by mid to late afternoon into tomorrow evening. So not an all-day washout here, but rain possible later on in the day into tomorrow night. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
A two-car crash in Chickasaw County kills a Houston woman. The accident happened on Highway 8 near the Natchez Trace in Chickasaw County on Thursday night. State troopers say a car driven by 49-year-old Wilson Parker was backing out of a driveway just before the collision. The other vehicle involved was driven by 62-year-old Melvin Jackson of Aberdeen, who was eastbound on Highway 8. A passenger in Parker's car, 52-year-old Maybelline Vance of Houston, died at the scene. Parker and 72-year-old Maddie Baskins were injured. Jackson was not injured. The Mississippi Highway Patrol continues to investigate the crash. Mississippi's new COVID-19 numbers continue to stay over the 2,000 mark. The State Department of Health is reporting 2,261 new cases and 26 deaths. 9 of those fatalities occurred in the WCBI viewing area. 1,316 people are hospitalized across the state with confirmed or suspected coronavirus symptoms. 321 of those patients are in ICU. Locally, Lowndes County has the most new cases today with 77. Lee has 50. Winston has 45. Pontotoc has 43. And Union has 35. State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs issues a warning to healthcare workers earlier today. Dobbs held a Zoom conference with healthcare professionals across the state around 4 o'clock this afternoon. During the conversation, he addressed questions about the COVID-19 vaccines. He says it's important for everyone to take the vaccine, even if they've already had the coronavirus. He says the Christmas holiday will most likely bring more case numbers than those we saw after Thanksgiving.
If this were the peak of the hospital stuff, I wouldn't be worried. Hospitals are doing great. Hey, and healthcare workers, docs, and people watching, it's going to be hard on you guys for the next month or two. and just get ready. Get rested when you can. Stay hydrated. I mean, it's going to be rough.
Dobbs says once you take the vaccine, you will not test positive for COVID-19, but you could test positive for the antibodies. Governor Tate Reeves says he could never have envisioned what his first year in office would be like, but he has high hopes for the new year. The first-term Republican reflected on 2020 during an interview with Wcbi at the governor's mansion. In January, the Jackson area was hit by flooding. Then in March, the state began feeling the effects of COVID-19. Reeves says since then, many small businesses have closed or are struggling to survive, while more than 4,300 Mississippians have died from the virus. The governor remains hopeful for a better 2021.
I worry very seriously about the mental impacts of what this virus has done to our people. And so as we go into Christmas, let's just remember the reason for the season. Let's celebrate that we do have an opportunity in this country to practice our religion, to focus on the good things that are going on. And look, I'm an optimist. I believe we're going to come out of this stronger than we were before, and we're going to position ourselves to compete.
The governor has said he will not do a second statewide shutdown. The school year that begins in fall of 2021 may look a little different from the Columbus Municipal School District, or for the Columbus Municipal School District, that is. Classes will be in session for extended periods to target student achievement and learning loss. School administrators are currently developing a plan for teachers, students, and parents. Our Stephanie Poole has more on the story.
The Columbus Municipal School District is exploring a change in the school year. This new schedule will ease the summer slide for students and teachers.
Our students are in different learning environments. We've been in a hybrid and virtual setting. Our teachers have been asked to do things that are unprecedented.
Superintendent Dr. Cherie Labatt says the district will follow a similar model to Corinth School District, taking 4 weeks from the summer break to spread it throughout the school year, also known as intersessions.
So we can work on students and give them grade level instruction during the year. I do feel we could replicate that type of success.
Dr. Labatt says intersessions will also promote academic achievement, college and career readiness, and workforce development for graduating seniors.
There will be some critical moments in education in the next 2 years because of what we've gone through. There's exhaustion, there's trauma, there's PTSD. There's, like I said, things we'll deal with from students, from academic interruption, from quarantines and positive cases.
Even though participation for intersession is optional for teachers, educator Rosalind Rainey is already on board.
You're refreshed and not so worn out. What I liked was the intersession in October. You can work on those fundamental skills that the kids need then in October instead of waiting until the very end of the year and playing catch up.
Rainey says during the summer, more than half of her students will forget what they've learned.
The first intersession you do fundamentals, and then the next intersession you do enrichment, where something that you like or you want to learn more about or things like that, so it'll make learning more exciting for them.
I am so amazed at how many parents are in agreement with the modified schedule. They speak up and speak out on how they feel that it will help our students here at Fairview.
Labatt says there are a few steps to complete before a final decision is made for the 21-22 school year. She and board members will continue researching the best method possible.
You know, our teachers are not going to work any more days in 187 days that they're contracted. Our students, unless they need assistance or want enrichment, acceleration, or remediation, will only go to school 180 days. Being an innovative district with innovative employees, we want to do something that's progressive for our students by providing shorter breaks to eliminate learning loss.
Dr. Labatt tells WCBI another community stakeholder meeting will be on January 7th. The Columbus Municipal School District will also meet with the Corinth School District about those developments and school plans. Dr. Labatt also says traditional holidays such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter will not be altered. A new traffic light at a dangerous intersection is up and in test mode. This is Poorhouse Road on Old Highway 25 in Oktibbeha County. Over the years, the Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Department has worked a number of accidents at this intersection. That's why the Mississippi Department of Transportation studied the traffic volumes in the area to determine the need. Supervisors approved the traffic signal. It's scheduled to be fully online by Wednesday. And Keith, is it ever going to get warm again? It's very cold.
You know, we'll moderate a little bit going into next week, but then we'll get cold again just in time for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Great sunset in Starkville. Speaking of Starkville, a great shot right there. And up in northern Mississippi tonight, we had Saturn and Jupiter spotted by Renee. Those planets visible over the last couple of nights. Your full forecast for the next 7 days next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Still some football to be played tomorrow. Let's talk about the MSU game in Starkville, Missouri coming to town. We've got temperatures that will be in the low 50s, mostly cloudy skies, a southeast wind. We hope the rain will hold off for the entirety of that football game. Ole Miss going down to Baton Rouge for LSU. 60s, a chance for some rain later on during that game. 50s and 60s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a big blast of cold air just in time for Christmas. Even day, 30s and 40s around here. So it will be feeling very festive, but we will not have a white Christmas, it would appear. There could be a few flakes early Thursday morning with some of this rain before it leaves, but no major problems foreseen. Chilly holiday for us. Here's our time lapse from Louisville, Mississippi today. Look at the fast-moving cirrus clouds out there. Great sunset to be had. Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, also some of those cirrus clouds. A lot of sunshine, some high clouds out there, but overall a pretty nice day for us. Highs 53 in Columbus and Tupelo today. Upper 20s, low 30s for lows tonight. Some of those clouds building back in. Some peaks of sun early, maybe through midday, and then we should become overcast. And notice how the rain chances go up by 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Once we get into tomorrow evening, a better chance for some rain. So for you in West Alabama, 54 in Vernon, 52 in Sulligent. Up here in Pontotoc, 50 degrees, 50 Boonville, 53 in Tupelo, and in Columbus, 52. Same story in Starkville, a shot at 53 in Winona and Ackerman for our Saturday. Rainfall potential, a quarter of an inch, maybe a half inch, but not a big rainfall producer tomorrow afternoon through Sunday morning. So we mentioned the clouds on the increase later on tonight. We may start to see that cloud shield start to approach by sunrise, and that will gradually build. The clouds will thicken lower as we go throughout the course of the day. This is 6 o'clock. Some of you could still be dry. Some of you may have some wet weather across our region. Let's just hope that it's a little bit delayed to give us more dry activities during the course of our Saturday. But rain showers here Saturday evening, Saturday night, even into early Sunday. Notice how there could be some rain around. The clouds will be very difficult to scour out Sunday. And then once they leave, we're looking at some pretty nice weather for Monday, Tuesday, before that next system comes on in. Probably Wednesday afternoon, but out ahead of it, we should still see highs around 60. So a little bit of rain for your weekend. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. A little bit nicer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A big blast of cold air just in time for Santa and Christmas.
Cases are rising, and so are precautions from area organizations. More on this after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. COVID-19 cases continue to rise, but some organizations are being more cautious to prevent an increase of cases throughout the state. WCBI's Desmond Matthews spoke with Lowndes County Fire Coordinator about the new actions they've taken to ensure safety. Take a look.
The Lowndes County Volunteer Fire Department is changing the way it responds to emergencies. Because of COVID-19, they'll now only allow a limited number of volunteers on the scene of an emergency. Lowndes County Fire Coordinator Neil Austin says it's a measure designed to cut down possible exposure to the coronavirus.
We do not want is to have 15 or 16 volunteers that have a normal everyday job exposed and possibly contaminate their workplace and that kind of thing.
The change takes place immediately and has had no impact on the department's response to emergencies.
So as it stands right now, we are responding to all fire calls, of course, and we respond to all rescue calls like car wrecks, boat accidents, anything like that.
The plan also limits the firefighters' response to only rescue type situations instead of going to every medical call in the county.
On a normal day-to-day basis, a car wreck may get 5 to 10 people, responders, And for a normal chest pain call, we don't want that many people going into somebody's house that may have a COVID issue. So we would limit that down to 1 or 2 to assist the ambulance service in doing what they do.
Says there's an added bonus to the new plan. With 145 volunteers spread over the 5 districts of Lowndes County, the plan creates more manpower to dispatch to multiple emergencies 24 hours a day. In Lowndes County, this is Desmond Matthews, WCBI News.
Though the individuals are volunteers, they're still trained to accommodate medical situations but are on standby unless requested by Baptist Memorial Hospital's personnel. Ole Miss continues to add on the recruiting trail. Next in sports, the local receiver who committed to Lane Kiffin.
Here's sports with John Sokolow.
Mississippi State football returning to Davis-Wade Stadium one last time this season, hosting the Missouri Tigers. Now the Bulldogs looking for their first victory since the November 7th win over Vanderbilt. They've dropped their last 3, only scoring 10 points in last week's loss to Auburn. But Missouri has struggled on the defensive side recently, allowing at least 48 points in each of their last 2 games. So potential for State's offense to really bounce back. Kickoff is at 2:30 on the SEC Network alternate. The Tigers are 1-point favorites. Ole Miss added to its list of impressive commits, inking ICC wide receiver Quay Davis in 6 games this year. He had 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Davis, the 3-star recruit, according to 247sports.com, had offers from Florida, South Carolina, but he ultimately opted to stay in his home state. He went to Biggersville High School. The Rebels will wrap up SEC play in Baton Rouge when they take on LSU. And despite not having Elijah Moore and Kenny Aboa, both those guys, said on Thursday that they're preparing for the NFL draft now, foregoing the rest of the season. Ole Miss is favored by 1.5 points, and kickoff is at 2:30 on Saturday on the SEC Network. Let's take a look at some SEC standings with just the weekend to go. Let's see where teams look. We're approaching the finish line. In the West, Alabama, the clear leader, undefeated with 10 wins and playing in the title game this weekend against Florida. A&M follows, then Auburn, Ole Miss, the 4-4 record. Arkansas after them. Mississippi State sitting at 2-7. LSU's in last because they're not eligible for postseason play. In the East, Florida sitting at the top with 8 wins on the year, followed by Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and South Carolina. Vanderbilt sits at the bottom of the SEC as the only team in the conference to go winless with 9 losses this season. Despite a speed bump against South Florida a few weeks back, it's been smooth sailing for Nikki McCray-Penson and the 13th-ranked Mississippi State women's basketball team. Tonight, they hosted Southern in their second-to-last non-con matchup of the season. Friday night college hoops. Jaguars in town. First quarter, Jags playing well. Tynesha Metcalf finds Jordan Akins for the tray ball. 10-9 MSU. Before the quarter ends, Yamiah Morris going to work down low and scores. 16-13 MSU. Second quarter, Madison Hayes on the break. Crossover. Nice move. Easy finish. 18-14 State. And then a little bit of beautiful ball movement here from the Bulldogs. It ends up with Jessica Carter with the left-handed finish and 1 bucket. Then a little later on the break, Carter, they're trying to utilize this matchup here with the lay-in. Jemiah Mingo Young with the dish. Stayed up 11 at this point. Katerion Thompson driving, kicking to Aaliyah Matharu for the corner 3, 40-27 MSU. They lead by 17 at halftime. They go on to win by 24. Here's how McCray felt that her team pulled away after the slow start.
I thought we got the ball inside. Clearly there was a mismatch, and we wanted to kind of dissect how we wanted to get the ball inside. So we had to move the ball from side to side to get just some looks or to get a dribble penetration.
We definitely have a lot of film that, of course, the coach is going to show us that we need to work on. And so we got the win. We're happy for the win, but we need to move on and focus on our next opponent and just getting better things that we didn't do good in the game.
Ole Miss men's basketball started the season 4-0 after Wednesday's victory over Middle Tennessee State in the Battle of the Schuler brothers. This team was picked to finish 9th in the SEC, and they certainly don't look like it at this point. The Rebels are 4th in the country in scoring defense, allowing just 52 points per game. From opponents, although it's still early in the season, though, head coach Kermit Davis is proud of what he's seen so far.
It has a chance to be one of the very best defensive teams that I've ever coached. I mean, we kind of saw that early on. We've guarded for periods of time in these first 4 games really well. Tonight, I thought it was the most consistent. I thought we guarded better off the bench. Just our effort in following game plan has been really good so far.
That's it for sports. Still to come, Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson returns with tonight's Last Look.
Low 50s for our weekend. Some rain starting tomorrow afternoon. Some of that will wrap on up Sunday morning. Early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, highs up to around 60. Our next front Wednesday into Thursday, that will bring a blast of cold air. Cash just in time for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Keith, I really like that dancing Santa on the 7th.
He's got the moves.
All right, thank you, Keith. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.